been tough over the last couple of days. It's been hard for us to laugh, man, because brothers and sisters and anyone out there, everybody's upset over the racial injustices we're seeing in this country right now, and it's a big uprising. We're seeing some. I don't even want to. I'm not going to say rioting. It's protests going on. Minneapolis, Atlanta, especially New York right now, D.C. Multiple of the death of George Floyd, who of course died by the hands of those 4 Minnesota police officers. Now, one, Derek Chauvin, was arrested, taken into custody today, third-degree murder and manslaughter. But a lot of people saying that still isn't enough. So you can understand why Black people, and not just Black people, but people, period, that believe in racial equality are pissed off these days and what they're going through right now, Brandon.
I mean, you got to look at it. We're going backwards. And my whole thing is that I can't even do films right now. I've done one film, but I had to stop and start, a whole organization that helps, social programs that helps justice, that help us have things that we can have community wise, because, people always talk about that scene I did in Lottery Ticket, that one scene where I was on a rooftop. That's kind of like, that was all improv, and that's really who I am. I'm really about my people. I'm a humanitarian, but if our house is burning, we have to get our house, we got to work our house first. Sometimes people say when you support your people, it doesn't mean you hate everybody else. And shout out to all my other nations that's cleaving to us and that's saying like, yo, we sick of it. It's Latinos, whites, other communities. We all sick of it. And the beautiful thing is that we're showing humanity being and justice through across racial lines, because everybody is cleaving to us and they coming to see, look, people are tired of it. So, that's why I created the Kingdom Over Everything platform, is because that shows us that we can work united, economically, and we can work united. And just because we're working united economically is not going to hurt other nations. I mean, look, we got the sauce. And I can explain about, stuff that we're doing with our fintech company right now, our financial technology company, Kingdom Pay. It's a la Cash App, a la Venmo. We have our own. We spend 97% of our money goes outside of our community. 97%. Imagine if you can have a company that can help aggregate that with us together. 35% of us are on Cash App. We made Cash App cool. So the compelling thing about our product, our financial technology company, is that we have over 30 years of technology inside of our organization. My brother Mark Bush, who's a co-founder of the organization, kingdompay.com. If you want to sign up, you can go now and sign up and know that you just can't solve social problems with social programs, but you got to solve it with social-based products,
and we'll get more into the monetary situation in just a second. Paul, I want to get you in here, man, because these protests, man, are, a lot of people are looking at us right now, and a lot of people still don't get it. They don't understand the anger that we're going through because of what we're feeling. And I had a discussion with somebody today, Donny and Paul and Brandon, like, this isn't something that just happened. If you're Black, just imagine, you've been dealing with racism your entire life. Think about that. It ain't something that just happened 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, or happened yesterday. Your entire life, you've been dealing with racism. Yeah. That's why you're upset. That's why you're fed up.
Yeah, man. And it's a shame, it's times like this, though, that because of the advent of social media, now we get to really put a camera on and see it. I've been seeing it in Brooklyn forever. I go back to days of Sonny Carson, when I was a young revolutionary, and then when I followed the Nation of Islam, and on and on and on. So we've seen it throughout, It's just that for it happening now, we're already at a point of unrest right now. So for it to happen right now, oh yeah, now it's magnified, So it's a shame, it's been going on forever, like you said, and maybe now there's so many things that's going to make it magnified, from what's going on with COVID-19 to the president coming out his mouth the wrong way. There's so many things that's going to put attention on it, that maybe what's been going on for so long is now going to be seen, and something will be done seriously.
I know you saw that tweet.
Paul, I dig what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because this reminds me back in the day when I was in them LA streets and the Rodney King beat went on, but this is worse. You know what I'm saying? We went out there and we protested and broke windows and did all type of stuff that ruined our community. So I'm trying to figure out what are we gonna do after we walk down the street and throwing bottles and this and that. Like, what's next for us? You know what I mean, we gotta change some laws as far as the police and the state senators and the congressmen. And so when police officers do something, they really have to get punished. It should be a law, you know, if they do something. So this movie's been done before. What you about to say, Brandon?
Now I was gonna ask, how do you guys feel seeing it? We got all the data looking at, you know, this. It happened in y'all generation. It happened in my parents' generation. Now it's happening in the millennials. And the thing is, about what we looking at, like you said, there's a pattern going on. And I know it has to be frustrating for, you know, with this like you said, you was out there protesting. And it has to be a pattern. I believe in solutions. I believe one solution is this, and I believe rioting is one way of getting anger out, but there's all different ways of having solutions. We started, my brother, shout out to Calvin Martyr, started out Blackout Day. I don't know if you heard about it. T.I., he reposted it. The founder of Blackout Day. If you look it up, Blackout Day 220. Sponsored by, of course, Kingdom Pay, of course. But my brother, what he did, he was able to take Genesis 15, if you look at the scripture, and I just get, you know, real as brothers, we all grew up spiritually, so I'm just gonna get, it says that there's gonna be a wealth transfer that's going on. And what we understand is that July 7th, people are now, what's happening, they're not gonna buy anything on July 7th.
Right.
And we got so much traction with what's happening. Shout out to Calvin Martyr, who's a part of the Kingdom organization, and he's doing his thing with Blackout Day. T.I. reposted it, and a lot of people think it was T.I. that did it, but it's getting so much traction that July 7th, people are going to actually practice the rule of no buying and selling on that day. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And a lot of Black businesses are getting involved. A lot of people are getting involved with it. And I think personally, the solution is our unity, not just Black people, but our unity as humanity, and just really, you know, not standing for it anymore.
And if people continue to do that on July 7th, that will show the power of the Black dollar, which we know goes a long way in this country. But I want to point out something you just said, like staying together. We can come together. We can boycott Gucci when they do something racist, when it comes to an ad or whatnot. We can boycott all these different companies. We can keep our money away from all these, you know, Fortune 500 companies out there and show the power of our dollar. How do we stay together when it's not just involving money, but how do we stay together when it comes to racial inequality or police reform or anything else that's affecting us as Black people in this country? How do we do that?
As this stuff keeps going on, naturally, I mean, if you remember when Trump got elected, we was in the same room. You saw me smiling and you couldn't understand why I was smiling. I was smiling because I believe prophecies are being fulfilled and he's bringing our people actually together. The more Trump do all this crazy stuff, me and you as a brother, we realize we all we got, you know, and I believe that the more we try to stay and go back to sleep, God just keep waking us back up. He keep punching. Listen, we got to wake up because it's time for the movement of his people is now. You know what I'm saying? And it's what's going on in my perspective.
I totally agree with you, Brandon, because just like you just said, when he's showing us that white people really don't give a hell about us. Now, when they show us that, you know what I mean, we have to come together. You know what I get tired of, Brandon? Most of the people say we have to stick together. Those are the ones that don't stick together, because a lot of my people, they really stick together. All the people, some of them, like 90% of my people, we stick together. You know what I'm saying? And we help each other out. So, you know, you have to not just say it, you have to do it. You know, stop talking about it, be about it. That's how I feel. That's how
they're also
my spiritual. Oh, sorry, Doc.
No, go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead, talk.
My spirituality comes from a Christ. I'm an Israelite that follows Christ. No, I'm not a Black Israelite. I'm not all these. I'm just an Israelite that follows Christ. We in our community, and even with my brothers in the Nation of Islam, we stick together. You know, we are very about, you know, our own, but we don't have to hate everybody else to just, be who we are. But we are about our own. And when you see these prophecies coming together with the nation of Israel, it's beautiful because all this stuff is happening. Is showing that, God does care about us. He cares about us and he loves us, and his covenant will be fulfilled. He said, I give you power to establish wealth, to establish my covenant with you. Meaning that this is the time. He is reestablishing his covenant with his people. And I'm going to go there with it because if you study, I come from a long bloodline of shepherds. This is just, it's always in my blood. I'm still an actor. I'm still a comedian. I still do. But right now, we need real shepherds. We need real people that's not going to take advantage of God's people. And we need solution-based programs, solution-based products that's going to help us out as a nation of people. And that's what we need.
So I want to speak on what Donny just said when he's talking about his people stick together, because yeah, your people stick together. But if my people are different than your people and I'm black, we still got to be able to come together. All of us, we got different factions. I'm your brother, absolutely. I'm your brother, and I have the same intentions you have. But if we have the same mindset, we don't have the same mindset or the same way of getting to that particular goal. Sometimes we're going to be factions, we're going to be broken apart, and it's going to be fractions, and they're going to be able to pick us apart.
But you can't have division like that. When you start when you start thinking like that, that's when you cause the division. So
I'm not causing a division.
No, I'm asking you. You said something to me, so I'm gonna tell you something back to you.
Okay.
When you start talking like that, you cause division. At the end of the day, whoever don't want to be down with your crew or your people, it's okay. You go do you over there, but we gonna stay over here and we gonna do us. So if you want to come with that negativity, man, you ain't for me. Like everybody ain't for everybody, player.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
When we talk about kingdom over everything, it pushes unity because we don't talk about sex. We don't talk about different sex. We talk about the Christ lifestyle was love your neighbor as you love myself. Christ was talking to his people. I'm talking to you. That's the basic principles. You can do all the praying and everything. If I don't love you like I love myself as a brother, and we've heard it all times, but we haven't had that action. So I don't get into doctrine. Kingdom over everything don't get into doctrine.
But that's what I'm saying. My whole point isn't about necessarily, yeah, we should do me. If I got a agenda over here, you got an agenda over there, and our agendas basically kind of match up. We have the same mindset of trying to reach the same goals.
Right.
Just because you're doing it a different way, I'm doing it, you shouldn't have to criticize what I'm doing over here. You should bring me back because I'm not doing it your way. And that's what I'm talking about, the differences in the factions, because we're fighting among each other instead of looking at the goal that we need to reach and the people that we need to touch and talk to reach the goals that we have.
And I hate to say this, brother, but we're all using American currency together. Remember,
but the American currency is the main goal that a lot of people say, because when you talk about the black agenda, a lot of people out there are talking about we just want to make more money. But that's not the only case that we have with a problem.
But Mike,
let me finish, Don. I'm gonna let you finish. Let me finish.
Okay,
hold on. I'm gonna let you talk. So so when you're talking about somebody, we want to see each other fail sometimes. You know, somebody could be doing something over here and doing it the right way, a smart way, but sometimes other people get insecure or they feel like there isn't enough room for all of us, and somebody wants to try and snatch somebody down because they feel like, oh, he thinks he's better than me. And they want to snatch that person down and want to see that person fail. We have got to get out of that mindset.
Yeah, that's the curses of Deuteronomy 28. It says your eye will be evil against your brother because you're not showing the love that you look. I don't care. I don't have time to get into like the doctrines of it. Like, and you saying what I agree with what you're saying. Kingdom over everything. We only stand for what you're saying. We have to come together in love. We got to come together in faith as in each other, and we got to come together that way. And I believe that because Trump and the things that's going on in the world, that spirit is coming on our people to be able. I guarantee you, if you saw me in the street right now getting beat up by a cop, you gonna come to my rescue unless y'all getting lineups and stuff. I mean, I don't know, like, but
it's just, even on this, Paul, you saw when the young ladies and the young men were filming Derek Chauvin putting his neck on his knee on the neck of George Floyd.
Yeah.
They were taking pictures. And our people still criticize, how come y'all didn't do anything? Still saying that.
But you got to pay attention, because every time they stepped forward, that's when he reached for the mace. That's when he was trying to do something. And remember, they're still the youth. So they see those uniforms, but they definitely wanted to step forward. They wanted to. And none of that. But when you say, we're all doing a lot of different things. I swear our people kill me because, we are our own worst enemy. We don't know how to get the hell of our own way sometimes. But when certain things like this takes place, it should galvanize us to say, okay, put this behind us. Only God can judge. There is one covenant. Stay focused. I try to I try to feed them the way they can take it. Like when I talk about the 3 cancers I dealt with, I tell them, I said, out of leukemia, lymphoma. Those aren't the worst cancers, nor is pancreatic nor lung cancer. My experience has taught me that the worst cancer is cancer of the spirit. And the way we cure that is with a steady transfusion of love, bring that together. So when I give in the way they can understand it, then you find that, okay, we're getting through. So those who have a platform, those who are influencers, and not just the social media influencers, but those we have a sworn duty to use that when we need it, especially times like this. You know?
Here's what I want to say, Paul. I believe in love. I believe in all that positive vibes. But my thing is that we as a people now, we have to understand it's like Malcolm X. It's by any means necessary. We have to do what we have to do to get what we need to get. You know what I'm saying? Get all the kowtown. Hold on, Brandon. So forget all the kowtown, forget all this, forget talking and dividing. If you're not down with the cause, get out the way. You know, if you're not down with the cause, get out the way. Period.
Right. I'm with that too. I'm like, this is the message. This is how we're going to do it. But if you're not supporting it, that's fine. Just get out of my way. Get out of our way. Let us do what we have to, because you can't convince everybody. You can't take everybody.
And stop trying to bring me down, because I'm already up. Stop trying to bring me down. You do you, let me do me. We can reach that goal maybe at the same time. But if I get there first, maybe I'll reach back and grab you. But don't try and bring me down because I'm higher than you right now.